Hey, MCE crew. So, you've got $1,000. You've been able to save up $1,000. Now, you want to put that money to work. You want to get your money working for you. What do? What is the best way to get your money working for you? You might hear my beagle in the background. It's because he's very enthusiastic about this subject. He has his own ideas about what he might do with $1,000, but I don't think it includes the stock market. Probably includes Petco. But anyway, let's get serious. Number one, pay off high interest debt, especially that credit card debt. Credit card debt in America today, the average interest rate on a card is 16.13%. So, now the reason why you need to take some money and pay off that credit card debt is because 16.13%, can you get that as a return out there? So your money is working for you if you're taking some of it, paying off high interest debt, and keeping whatever you put on that card, whatever you bought on that card, from costing you more ultimately. Let's look at an example. These credit card debt repayment calculators, they can be found all over the internet. We're using Credit Karma right now. And you can use it for things other than credit cards. You can use it for mortgages or car loans. You can find all kinds of calculators that can help you precisely calculate your debt and how long it's going to take to pay off, and how much it's going to cost in interest. So here we see we got $500 on a credit card. That credit card has a 16.13% interest rate. Let's just say that if we paid that back at the minimum payment due, because you know credit card companies love that minimum payment. And they love it. Why? Let me show you why. Because by the time you pay it off, 29 months later, it'll take for you to pay off $500 of credit card debt at $20 per month at a 16.13% interest rate. Credit card company is going to love you because at the end of that, you will have given them $107. So almost 20% of what you purchased, you know, that $500, you'll be adding on another $107, making whatever it was you purchased $107.21 more expensive. This is why you need to go in and control that. Because think about it. If you had $107 to add to your $1,000, then you'd have $1,107.21 to work for you. Okay? So consider that. Consider looking at your high interest debt, that credit card debt especially, and getting rid of it, paying it off, and then moving forward, only putting on that card what you can afford to pay off within the 30-day cycle. That way you don't incur interest charges. Now, that leads us directly into number two. Using some money from that $1,000 to establish an emergency fund. Now, how are you going to do that? Where are you going to put this money so that it best helps you start this emergency fund? Well, you could put it in an online savings account because they do have the best interest rates out there, but that's not saying much because the interest rate that you get from a bank nowadays, I think the best I've seen at an online bank is 0.55%. So basically, this is just a place to hold money. And let me tell you why I'm not a big fan of that. Because, again, let's say you got that bank credit card at 16.31%. But then you put money into the bank so that they can lend it out at credit, on credit, and they pay you 0.55% for the privilege, okay? That's a hell of a spread, okay? That's a hell of a spread. They're making a lot of money off of you. So I'm not a big fan of putting emergency fund money into a savings account, even if it's a high yield account. However, starting out, you may need to do that, but don't make that a permanent arrangement. I would prefer, and we'll talk about this more extensively in another video, using an insurance policy as a savings vehicle, okay? Yes, insurance is not just for a death benefit. In fact, that's just a part of many, many parts. That's the part that benefits someone else, your loved ones, when that inevitable point in time comes. But most of the benefits from a properly structured permanent life insurance policy, most of the benefits, they benefit you, the owner of the policy in the here and now. So we'll get more into that, but you do need to take some money and start an emergency fund. Now, the reason you want to do that is because this is going to keep you from getting into the credit trap. Remember, if you're able to address an emergency, let's say you rolled over an object. I did that a few months ago. I rolled over a curve and boom, my tire just went flat like in a minute. Okay, luckily there was a tire shop right across the street. I went over, I got my tire fixed. I used my credit card to do it. And as soon as I got home, took some money out of my emergency fund, put it on my credit card. That way, what they charged me at the tire shop was all I got charged. I didn't get charged any interest from my credit card company. So you need to be able to address emergencies or opportunities for that matter without dipping into credit that you can't satisfy within the 30-day cycle and then incur interest. Okay, so that's number two. Number one, we got to pay off that high interest credit debt, pay off the high interest debt. And then number two, we have start to establish that emergency account. Now, CDs, certificates of deposits, they're also anemic when it comes to the return you're going to get on that. Go and watch the Rule of 72 video. Go and watch that, and that will stress exactly why you need to get a good return on your money. Otherwise, you'll not even be on this earth anymore by the time that money doubles. So watch that video after this one. All right, number three, I'm a firm believer in maxing everything out, okay? So where should you start? Well, if you've got a qualified plan like a 401k, especially if they're matching that plan, if your employer is matching that plan, then you need to consider putting money into that 401k. Now, you got to educate yourself, okay? Usually your employer will have a company managing this, like Fidelity is big into managing 401ks for companies. T. Rowe Price does a little bit of that as well. All the big names, okay? But you've got to sit down and you've got to be very judicious about where you're putting your money. They've usually got advisors that you can call as a part of that service to help walk you through that. Now, why do you want to consider putting money in there from your $1,000, okay, that you managed to save up? Well, number one, you get a tax advantage in the here and now. And if you are a W-2 employee, tax advantages on income are few and far between. So you need to consider going ahead, looking at your qualified account like your 401k. If it's matched, that's even better because it's like getting, free money, okay? And a lot of times that match will help address your tax liability when you go to use that money at 59 and a half or later, okay? The other thing is with the 401k, we talked about the tax advantage piece of it. That's what you get up front. But, this is a way to help you save for a point in your life where you're not going to be presumably bringing in the income like you used to. So you're not going to be working, so you're going to need these income sources. Now, trust me on this. One of the contracts I have is for a Medicare provider. And I'm telling you, there are some people out here that are older and they're really suffering financially, okay? Not able to afford medications that they really need. So you don't want to be in that position. Take a look at your qualified account. Also, there's your traditional IRA. That also gives you that tax benefit now that lowers your taxable income. Give you a quick example. If you make $100,000 and you put $2,000 into your 401k or your traditional IRA, then you won't get taxed on $100,000 worth of income. you will get taxed on $98,000 worth of income, okay? So it lowers your tax burden in the here and now. Now, let me backtrack a second. You're going to need to consider things that actually lower your tax burden in the future also. You're going to need to have a mix. So some things you're going to take the hit on and go ahead and pay the taxes today for the future tax benefit. And some things you're going to get the tax benefit on today and deal with the taxation later. Guess what? We're back to an insurance policy, properly structured, permanent life insurance policy. You take the tax hit today on the income that you put in there. And then in the future, when taxes are quite liable to be higher, that is when you get a tax benefit when you want to get some of that money, as long as you take it out correctly. And any qualified insurance specialist or financial advisor is going to know how to do that and advise you on that. Also, with insurance, remember, when the time comes, I hope you're here for more than a century myself, watching and engaging with the Money Changes Everything channel. I'll be here, but keep in mind that when the time comes to pass that money on to your heirs, it goes tax-free. Now let's cover one more. I know you're thinking, hey, where's the sexy stuff? Where are the stocks? Okay, where's the Bitcoin? Where's the crypto? I want to get jiggy with it. Look, when it comes to investing in stocks, we've got a lot of information on the channel. We've got a video we've recently put up about how to read a stock quote. We're going to do more on breaking down stocks, okay, and taking a look at how to evaluate them. This is education. I'm not leading you in the direction of purchasing anything in particular, but let's talk about stocks for a second. Now, you got $1,000. You look out. A lot of people get discouraged when they look at the stock market and they say, whoa, these stocks ain't cheap. Okay, I can only get, 8 shares of whatever because it's trading at, above $100. Some people get discouraged when they encounter that. If you're only able to purchase 8 shares of a stock that you evaluated and did your due diligence on and believe is the stock of a company that's going to appreciate over time and maybe even pay a dividend, then wouldn't it be better to own 8 shares now as opposed to owning none now? And then you want to talk about being demoralized, sitting there and watching the stock appreciate and you have no stake in it whatsoever, okay? And now you turn around, 6 months later and you were trying to save up money so you can afford 20 shares. And guess what? Now, guess what? It's so expensive where you could have purchased 8. Now all you can get is 6. Okay. So now you're even, deeper in that hole. So go ahead. And if you've evaluated a stock or if you sat down with your professionals and they have suggested for your situation that a certain stock is or mutual fund or ETF is exchange traded fund is the way for you to go, then join the party. Okay. Again, if you've got money just sitting around, okay, I'm going back to that rule of 72 video. If you got money just sitting around, it's not this day and age, that money's losing about a percentage point of value per month. All right. So you're on a little hamster wheel, okay, with that mindset of I got to save more money and then I'll get into it. Okay, you're like a little teeny hamster running on the wheel, going faster and faster toward nowhere. So those are the tips that we have. If you got $1,000, how to put it to work for you. Okay, guys, I will talk to you soon. And I'm very excited about the direction that we're going in. Share these videos, okay? Let somebody know that we're on this path to financial independence. Especially, I really believe we got to get this done, guys, by 2030. We really do, okay? You got to be at a place where you're total peace of mind with your direction of your money because the world is changing. All right, so I'll talk to you about that and other things very, very soon. To learn more about how you can achieve financial independence, check out these videos we recently posted on the Money Changes Everything channel.